Hello students. Friends, in my previous class already I have discussed on some topics like meaning, characteristic and stages of memory. Okay. So today I will discuss on types of memory. On the basis of nature, memory is divided into several parts. But Bergson, okay, he was a famous psychologist. He basically divided memory into two types, okay, two broad categories, that is image memory and habit memory, okay. But apart from these two, that is image memory and habit memory, there are some other types of memories, okay, like long term or prolonged memory, short term memory or immediate memory, logical memory, rote memory, sensory memory and associative memory. So now we will discuss these different types of memory in detail. Okay. First point is image memory. As the name implies, this type of memory depends purely on the image of the past experience and learning retained in our mind. Okay. So from the name itself we can understand, isn't it? This type of memory totally depends on the image of our past experience, learning, okay, which is stored in our mind, so that those information or knowledge we can use it in our present situation. So to have this kind of memory, one should have high intelligence, creativity and also imaginative ability, okay. And hence this memory is also called as pure memory. Why? Because this type of memory is widely used by all, okay, means each and every one of us use this type of memory, okay. And students basically use this type of memory while answering essay type questions, okay, in the examination. So the second point is habit memory. So before knowing about habit memory, you must know at least the meaning of habit. That means what does habit means. For example, whenever you want to form any kind of good habit, then what you will do? You will repeat that particular activity or task again and again over a period of time, so that that particular habit could be formed. Similarly, here habit memory is formed through physical repetition. That means whenever an activity is repeated again and again, then a kind of memory is acquired, and that is called habit memory. For example, one can use this type of habit memory while playing instrumental music. The third point is long-term or prolonged memory. These types is named on the basis of time required between acquiring learning or experience and remembering or reproducing them. That means whenever any kind of learning or experiences we acquire, okay, and after that, after a huge gap, we try to reproduce it, those learning and experiences, okay, then it is called long-term memory. That means to have this kind of memory, there should be a huge gap between learning or acquiring knowledge or experiences and reproducing those experiences. For example, if any kind of incident has taken place in our life at the early years of our life, okay, like at the age of 5, 6, 7 you may say, and if we are able to recall those experiences after 20 or 30 years also, after a huge gap, okay, of learning or experiences, and then it is called long-term memory. Here more importance is given on time gap. That means whatever you have learned and whatever you are reproducing it, between these two, if there is a huge gap, okay, then it is called long-term memory, okay. Next point is short-term or immediate memory. So in short-term or immediate memory, whatever learning or experience which you have acquired, that should be reproduced very shortly. No, there should not be any long gap between learning and reproducing it, okay, and that is called short term memory. That means within a short period of time, whatever you have learned, you should be able to recall it, to reproduce it, okay, in your present situation. That is called short term memory. For example, a press reporter uses this kind of memory while noting down the proceeding of meeting. Next point is logical memory. So from the term itself we can understand, isn't it, that logical memory is something where some kind of reasoning, power of understanding and intelligence, logical reproduction of intelligence is required, okay. So in order to have this kind of memory, one should has to learn and acquire experience while using logical and analytical abilities, okay. And this kind of memory does not give importance on mechanical repetition, okay, that means cramming or memorizing of facts, okay. It give more importance on understanding, reasoning, using our analytical abilities, logical abilities, okay. And for example, students use this kind of memory basically while solving mathematical problems and also doing some kind of laboratory experiments, okay. Next point is rote memory. So from the term itself we can understand, isn't it, that rote memory is something where some kind of verbal repetition, cramming or memorization of facts is used so that we would be able to retain the images in our mind, and whenever required we would be able to reproduce them, okay. Here verbal repetition is used mechanically in case of rote memory, okay. Verbal repetition is must to have this kind of memory. For example, students use this kind of memory during examination, but here one demerit is that this memory is temporary, okay, and it may fail anytime. As in this kind of memory, importance is not given on understanding, using some kind of analytical and reasoning abilities, just we try to claim the facts, and because of that reason it may fail anytime. So this next point is sensory memory. As you already know that each and every one of us are blessed with 5 sense organs like eyes, nose, ear, skin, tongue, and each of these sense organs have some special functions, okay. For example, with the help of our eyes we are able to see the world, okay. That means eyes helps us to have our visual memory. Similarly, with the help of our ear we can have our auditory memory and the like. So whenever we acquire any kind of experience with the help of our sense organs, and its memory is derived, and that is called sensory memory. Basically this kind of memory is frequently used by little children, okay, and grown up people use this memory very less. The last but not the least, associative memory. So in associative memory, basically when we try to remember something by associating the same with some similar experience, then it is called associative memory. For example, a son appearance could remind us of his father, okay. So this is all about associative memory. So now we will do a quick revision of different types of memory, okay. So the first one is image memory. So to have image memory, the most important thing is that one should have some kind of previous learning and experience, okay, which should be stored in our mind in the form of images, so that whenever required we can use those learning and experience in our present situation. And basically image memory is used mostly by students while answering essay type questions. Next point is habit memory. So in habit memory, so whenever any activity is repeated again and again over a period of time, then a kind of memory is acquired and it is called habit memory. And basically one can use this kind of memory while playing an instrumental music. The next point is long-term memory. In long-term memory, basically if there is a huge gap, long gap between learning or acquiring knowledge and experience and reproducing those learning and experience in our present situation, if there is long gap in between these two, then it is called long-term memory. For example, if an adult can recall some incident which happened in his early years of life, then he has long-term memory. Okay. Next point is short-term memory. In short-term memory, whenever something is reproduced very shortly after learning, then it is called short-term memory. That means the duration between learning and reproducing is very short, then it is called short-term memory. Okay. Next point is logical memory. So in order to have logical memory, one has to learn and acquire experience using his logical and analytical abilities. So in logical memory, intelligence, reasoning and power of understanding is very important. Okay. And generally, this type of memory is used by students while solving mathematical problems and doing laboratory experiments as well. Next is rote memory. So rote memory totally depends upon mechanical repetition. Okay. So to have this kind of memory, verbal repetition is must. Why? So that the images could be stored in our mind and whenever we want, we can reproduce them. Verbal repetition is used mechanically, okay, in case of rote memory. Students use this kind of memory during examination and hence it is also called as temporary memory. Next is associative memory. In associative memory, generally what we try to do, we try to remember our past experience and learning, okay, by associating the same with some similar experience and hence it is called associative memory. So this is all about today's class. Thank you.